Good morning, kiddos. It's Mr. B. It is Friday, February 11th. Again, we have a minimum day schedule, a half hour of class time today, so our lesson planning is considerate of that. This is part 2 of the vocabulary that you need to know before we get into our last section of Unit 1, and specifically finishing off here with the biological evidence for evolution. This is a continuation of your vocabulary, similar to yesterday's, but different terms. There are 4 terms for you to provide the definition of: embryology, pharyngeal pouches, molecular biology, and last but not least is divergence. And here is the text reference read to you for those of you that are perhaps more auditory learners. First, developmental biology. You have learned that studying the structures of organisms can help scientists learn more about how organisms are related. Studying the development of embryos can also provide scientists with evidence that certain species are related. The science of the development of embryos from fertilization to birth is called embryology. Pharyngeal pouches. Embryos of different species often have similarities that are not obvious in the fully formed organism. For example, all vertebrate embryos have pharyngeal pouches at one stage, as shown in the figure. This feature develops into different body parts in each vertebrae, yet in all vertebrates, each part is in the face or the neck. For example, in reptiles, birds, and humans, part of the pharyngeal pouch develops into a gland in the neck that regulates calcium. In fish, the same part become gills. One function of gills is to regulate calcium. The similarities in function and location of gills and glands suggests a strong evolutionary relationship between fish and other vertebrates. So this is where you'll find the definitions for embryology and for pharyngeal pouches, and that's on page 156 here of your book. See, 156. And then moving forward, molecular biology is the third definition you need to identify and report on. Molecular biology, the study of fossils, comparative anatomy, and embryology, provides support for Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection. Molecular biology is the study of gene structure and function. Discoveries in molecular biology have confirmed and extended much of the data already collected about the theory of evolution. Recall that mutations in genes are the source of variations upon which natural selection acts. You can learn more about how molecular biology provides evidence for evolution by exploring the table and the figure below. Now, specifically right now, I want you to attend to only the definition of divergence. We'll get back to all of this in the future, but divergence. Scientists have found that some stretches of shared DNA mutate at regular, predictable rates. Scientists use this molecular clock to estimate at what time in the past living species diverged from common ancestors. For example, as shown in the figure, molecular data indicates that whales and dolphins are more closely related to hippopotamuses than they are to any other living species. And that is not part of the definition, but you can see that that is evidence from this divergence here, this fork in the road that is shown in the figure. And that should refocus. All right, that is it for today, Friday the 11th. The expectation is you are completing this work and you are either taking a picture of it or you are writing out the definitions in a Google Doc and then turning that in via Canvas. So you can write the definitions out by hand, take a picture of it, and submit it via Canvas, via the assignment link that will be available today. or, and again, this is due next week, Tuesday, or you can complete it in a Google Doc and then turn that in via the assignment link. And this work, again, is due next week, Tuesday, February 15th.